what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best brawlers for all the new modifiers with this ranked season. So there's two new modifiers. There's the return of Quickfire and of course Classic. Once you get to Masters, you'll be getting no modifiers. So of course you want to be learning the meta as quickly as possible so your push towards Masters is really efficient. So already I'm at Legendary 1, been playing ranked a ton, so I can give you guys all the best details on the meta. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and also check out my stream literally after this video where I'll be playing a ton of ranks with the new season. And without further ado, let's jump into it then. So with healing wings, that's going to be the first new modifier for all the healing in the game except for your passive regeneration. It'll be buffed by 30%. So of course just times any kind of healing ability by 1.3 and you'll be able to work out how much healing it is. So essentially the healers of course are going to be pretty broken on this game mode. So in turn, that's actually made tank counters really prevalent as well. So the first brawler, which I think is by far the best here, it is Byron. The reason being is because he's already just a good brawler in the standard meta anyway, and of course he's got range and his healing is just insane. He heals for near 1,000 per second, well just per hit, per tick, every single time because of that buff. And then with his super, like 4k damage, 4k healing is actually insane as well. Then you got the likes of Poco for his Decapo star power. He heals 1,250 per shot, which is insane, and his super has like 5,000 healing as well. Again, absolutely crazy. Berry is probably the one that's been causing me the most problems because you can just keep chaining supers like crazy. Your super actually heals for 4,000, which is crazy considering that you can actually just cycle through to these supers by just taking damage. Basically, you and your team will never die if you have a Berry in your team, and his main attack heals at 858, so he's insane on healing wins. We also have the likes of Draco. The reason why Draco is good because he synergizes really well with a lot of the healers because he's able to sustain his life a lot easier paired with the gadget, paired with the shredding star power that gets a buff as well. I think he's pretty good pick in terms of the healing wings meta. We've also got Pam, which of course she's going to be decent in hot zone anyways, but she's got some other use cases now because her turret will heal her 1,500 all of the time, which is just absolutely insane paired with the mythic gear. You've also got the likes of Barley. His healing is just crazy. You literally can't touch Barley because he's got his healing with his star power, he's got healing with his gadget. He's just absolutely broken, especially with the map pool. There's just so many good throw maps, so Barley and Berry just completely dominating it in this modifier. You also got the likes of Edgar, who's a little bit underrated, but I won't really say he's like broken or anything. Tried him out a few times and he still gets countered by the likes of Gale, etc. Top of the meta. Got the likes of Clancy and Colette. So they don't really have too much healing in their kit. You know, so Colette does have the gotcha gadget, but because of how good they are at countering tanks, they're just even better right now. Especially Clancy. You can just farm supers for free. If there's just so much healing going on, yeah, he's going to be able to just farm through them supers. So with healing wings, just take a look at all of the healers. They're going to get a lot better, but again, I've been really noticing the Berries, the Byrons, and the Pocos just abusing this meta. So next up, we're going to be taking a look at Quickfire. So it's actually returning modifier, but I believe it is the other modifier that is available 20% of the time. I've been getting Quickfire way more than the other modifier, so I believe it's 20% healing wings, 20% Quickfire, and then 10% got to go fast, I think, for the most part. But maybe it actually feels like before you get to Diamond, it's pretty much modifiers all of the time, so maybe that then goes into place during Diamond. And then of course once you get to Masters, maybe even Legendary, I think the percentages slowly go down until 0% modifiers in Masters, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, Quickfire, it is the same type of meta as before, but again, I want to stress so much. There's actually 3 brawlers that are above the rest in my opinion. That's going to be Jean, Leon, and Gale. They're going to be your best 3 options literally everywhere, because of course Jean with his projectile is so easily just to spam auto aim and just get a million ammo pieces at all times. He's absolutely insane here. You've got Leon as well. He's able... The reason why Leon's so good, because not only does he have a really fast reload speed with this modifier, he's got a really fast unload speed. Those type of brawlers are really strong, because you think of like Meg, for example. Meg's good in Quickfire, but because her unload speed is a little bit long to get through her ammo, Leon, you can just spam through them really quickly, so that's why he's absolutely broken. And the same goes with Gale as well. We pair him with the slow star power, and because of the way it works with auto aim with Gale, pretty much as soon as you get into distance someone, you can just spam auto aim. You literally kill them every single time. So Gale is very good in Quickfire. You also got the likes of Piper, who can be really good. You do need good aim, but especially in the long range maps still, Piper is going to be one of your best sharpshooters, and especially you can just start the chaining with your gadget, and then that gives you more ammo paired with snappy sniping. It's just infinite ammo with Piper. Next up, we got Rico. So there's a lot of good Rico maps in the rotation right now, and of course, because he shoots multiple projectiles, he's going to have infinite ammo paired with his hypercharge, and paired with the tank meta that's going on right now, he just blitzes through absolutely everything. In terms of other good options as well, we've got the likes of Spike. Even though he's really fallen off in the meta, I still think he's one of the best quickfire brawlers. Pair him with Curveball, he's just so annoying to face off against. He just gets infinite supers because you're basically going to be able to get infinite ammo with him. Lola as well is really good with the healing star power. Colt's really good, especially in heist, but it does take a little bit more skill to play the likes of Colt. And that is really about it. I've not really noticed any other brawler like kind of just dominate the meta the way that Jean, Leon, and Gale are. So now moving into the last modifier, which is called Gotta Go Fast. So essentially, all of your objectives are completed twice as fast. So with Brawl, you only need one goal to win. In Knockout, it's just one round. In Gem Grab, I think the gems spawn twice as fast. I think I played it once, but I think I only played it like 3 times. So I think this is a 10% modifier. So I've not actually noticed too much of a difference with this meta so far. I will say, of course, the brawlers that you can spam gadgets with and don't take as long to get hypercharges and everything else, they're going to be way better, because of course you just need that. Literally, the game's split in half. So you think about it in Brawl, if you can get a really fast hypercharge, for example, like Frankie charges is really fast, and you can get a goal with a super really quickly, like you can with Frank, you can get a super so fast, he's going to be one of the best brawlers there, for example. Or if you think of all the long range game modes like Knockout and Bounty, you can just spam Piper, just go for the extra gadget gear, just spam 4 curves at the opponents, and you should be able to win most of the time. It's the only thing I've really noticed. I think the meta basically stays the same, but of course being wary that you've got to remember that the objective ends twice as fast, so you've got to really be at your A game at all times. It's not really any chance for a comeback in this modifier. And lastly, jumping into the classic modifier. So of course, once you reach masters, these are the brawlers that everyone's going to be using. So I'll just quickly go through this list because I've already done a top 10 a couple of days ago. So in terms of the classic modifier, the best brawlers in the game, definitely I think like the top 2 probably going to be Gale and Meg. Meg is just absolutely insane everywhere. We'll say she'll struggle a little bit in Knockout and Bounty, but she's still really good there. She gets outranged most of the time, but everywhere else she's like the best brawler, deals insane damage. Gale, of course, being a tank counter, he got a buff to his super damage, which is just insane, and then his hypercharge is really good on top of that. He's just absolutely cracked in this meta. Next, Frank. So Frank is a little bit better towards the end of the draft, but still you can choose him pretty early on if you ban the likes of Colette. For example, he's still absolutely insane. Lily is probably the best 6th pick in the meta right now. You will need to only pick her into squishier brawlers or on just maps which have a lot of grass, because then you can combine your gadget really easily and the opponents won't know where you are. So Lily's insane. Berry is another one that's insanely underrated and completely broken in the right hand, because you can just keep you and your team alive like crazy, chain through supers, and just overwhelm the opponents, because of course that main attack lasts for 6 seconds, which is insane. Next, we've got Barley, again, another brawler I'm abusing so much. His hypercharge is actually really underrated, and just his general kit is really strong. You have 4 healing gadgets, which is allowed to stay on the hot zone, or just whatever objective you're kind of taking a lot longer. You've also got his super, which is really good for zoning and pushing opponents back, and then his hypercharge is good on top of that. And then lastly, the last 2 that I've seen a lot of bans for is Clancy. A lot of people are banning Clancy, even though I've not really had too much of a problem. I think it's mainly because once he gets to his final stage, he is pretty broken, and that super damage is just way too much. And then lastly, Larry. So of course the throwers are dominating in this meta. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hopefully this helps you push towards masters as quickly as possible. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.